for just $299 a month. That's only $299 a month. But you better hurry.
Bryce, what's happening? One of the first ones in here. Sean, hey. Adam, great to see you. Sunday was Zip. I almost didn't do it. I worked myself to a tizzy getting my 3 acres cleaned up. Howdy, David. 700, what's up? Off grid. Great to see you. Me and the missus made it. Mister, it's great to have you here. Anyway, I was saying, Sean, I was going to work on your 7116 yesterday, but worked myself to death Thursday and Friday. So yesterday I did absolutely nothing, and today felt decent enough, so I got out and had to take care of I'm tired, Adam, but other than that, I think I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. I was just saying I got myself busy. It was up 6 o'clock in the morning. A lot of yard work to catch up on. So Lisa had a very busy weekend, so she wasn't able to spend time with us. Howdy, Albert. And she's not going to be able to be on the live stream because she just left here and she's at the grocery. So you just got me today. We are going to try to schedule a live stream where Lisa's here together so that we can have a Q&A with her as well. Wild Bill, howdy. So let's open it up with some questions. I really don't have a whole lot to talk about other than I worked my tail off today and I'm tired. NASCAR at Talladega plus Zip. Good Sunday. Yeah. It makes me think of that Talladega Nights. That's correct. The bottom half is, yes, 700. Top is white. Bottom, yes, Ricky Bobby. Bottom is black. Glenn, glad you could make it. Do you have any other landlord questions? Look forward to this every week. Well, I'm glad, Glenn. You're tired, yet here you are again. Yeah, I am tired, Willie. I'm wore out. Wore myself out. No, my top section of grill on my 64 landlord is white. Bottom is black. My favorite license plate year. Well, people have been trying to find my birth year, and that's really cool. I've got Ohio from my birth year. I've got Canada from my birth year. And I'm really sorry, I don't remember. I've got a couple of others that are my birth year, which is 1966. Yeah, I've got my bags packed. A little burn on my nose from mowing. Adam, thank you very much for stopping by, buddy. Catch one for me. Boo, great to see you. Brother, can't kill me. How do? I've not made it to your video yet. I will get to your video. It's just been a weekend. What does it mean when the starter spins the motor over but stops if you hit it again and it winds up and spins over and starts? If it's an overhead valve, it you may need a valve adjustment because it's not hitting the compression release, or the cam has a mechanism on it that acts as the compression release. That may also be damaged. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. That was an older Vanguard. I hope you get it to come back to life. Boo, that would be awesome. 1966. That would be fantastic. Oh, Mister, that would be awesome too. Yeah, I was born in '66, so why not? And I like the vintage plates. Obviously, my barn, that I call the shop, was built in 1900, so it's 118 years old. The house was built in 1866, so it's exactly 100 years older than I am. This, oh, uh, you got 2 years on me, Boo? How are my next 2 years going to go? Can you tell me anything like this weekend? I take the weekend off and I wear myself out even worse than if I was working in the shop. Yeah, check the valves. Check the valves, Bryce. Robert, you made it. The complimentary snacks. That would be those peanuts that you had me get for the squirrels, and you might have to fight them for them. But Robert, you're welcome to head on out to the shop and grab the peanuts. I'm just like Delta. That's all you get's peanuts. Wait until I hit 60, the tires fall off, and you start the wobble. Well, actually, and if you guys remember Michael, my neighbor, he borrowed some money off of me. Instead of having him pay me back, I said, "You can pay me back by cleaning up my sticks." So my 3 acres got sticks picked up by Michael. I didn't have to do it this year. That is correct, 700. You got it. Walnuts in the fall. Yep. And I've got a lot of walnuts. I've got 2 black walnut trees here. The twin engine tractor. Andrew, wow. That's going way, way back. I have not built the twin engine yet. I need to build the twin engine before I can start the twin engine. Oh, you mean start building it? Uh, that would be a winter project. There's no way that it can be done. Uh, and that thing has actually been on the schedule as a hobby, just play around thing for me to do for 7 years. So you guys see how much of my own stuff I get done. You got it, Robert. You're welcome, 700. You have a fix for the sticks things. It's called chainsaw. Never have to pick up again. Speaking of that, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ash on my property that are dead thanks to the emerald ash borer beetles, and they've got to come down. And those are the ones that shed most of the sticks. Between those and my sycamore always has a tendency to throw branches. But Robert, that's real nice. Stick around, buddy. You're welcome, Andrew. You like dual sport motorcycles? I don't know how to pick a good one. Look for one you have any good helpful advice. Pick and choose it. As long as it's Japanese, you're good. Off grid, as long as it's Japanese, you're good. Whether it be Suzuki, Honda, or Kawasaki. Um, if you want to spend a little bit more money and have equal dependability, BMW dual sports are real nice. The twin engine. I wished I had the picture of it here. I'm building a 64 Landlord with a stretched frame, stretched hood that's going to have two Briggs 16 horses, one in front of the other. Off grid, you're welcome. And I'd like to have a dual sport myself, just because they absorb a pothole and you don't even know you hit it. They're so nice. The suspension is just so forgiving on them. And I would get a water cooled over an air cooled. No, actually, you just set them at 60 degrees opposed on the compression stroke, top dead center, 60 degrees, and they'll both start. You just use a Lovejoy, and they'll sync up and they'll run just fine. They'll run great. Just 60 degrees timed. They work great. Twin singles, mister. Twin singles. Twin single 16 horse. So it'll be a 32 horsepower. Oh, wow, Bill. No. Yeah, I mowed today. I didn't mow everything. I mowed most of it. That would get me down the road. Yes, Bryce. You bring one engine up to top dead center. You bring the next engine 60 degrees before top dead center on the compression strokes, and they will fire in a manner that they will not tear themselves apart when you Lovejoy them together. 0 to ticket. Yep. Yep. I'd like to stick a small block Chevy in it, Glenn, or even one of the 4.3 V6s, or even a 2.8 for that matter. Yeah, and they'll work out real good, Bryce. And then just do a tandem throttle cable that operates both at the same time. You're right, mister. A zero turn would save me a lot of time. That's for sure. Running a 54-inch deck right now. I'm Winnie the Pooh on, and that is my main mower currently. So and I like my stripes, so I'm having to go up, turn around, back up, go back the other way. Wild Bill, where are you that you still have snow? Ugly Alice? I mowed with Ugly Alice today inside my fence. Ugly Alice is fantastic. Ugly Alice is a staple of this property, of the Zippo Ranch. Ugly Alice will go nowhere. That's good English. Won't go anywhere. Sat all winter long, hit the key, cranked over maybe 3 times to pull some fuel in, and fired right off. Can't beat these old tractors. Lady Lime, Andrew. Lady Lime. Yes. Shawano, Wisconsin. So you're up there. Okay. That explains it, Bill. Hey, Sir Rooney, as long as you're here, that's great. Going back a few years, I'm going to address Andrews. It was Lady Lime, the Deutz Alice 920. I picked up just the cab for my 3416 Hydro, and it was a Danco hard cab that had a stereo in it, a fan, wiper, 6 lights. It was just awesome. And then the guy says, "Well, I've got the tractor that it goes with. It's buried back here." I was, "Well, what is it?" And he said, "Well, it's the inaugural Deutz Alice partnership from 1984, serial number 10,001. And it's the only one I've ever seen that had a chrome dash, chrome lift levers, chrome PTO engagement levers. Everything was chromed." That's funny, Glenn. But what happened to it? I listed it on eBay. I paid $125 for the Danco cab. Then he told me that he had that, and he asked X number of dollars. I told him, I said, I've got to go through it and make sure that it's in one piece and that I can get it running. I can't, if you want to get it running, I'll give you your asking price, but otherwise, here's what I'm willing to pay you. And I left. Well, he called me the next day. He says, "That's fine." So I went back and picked it up. So my total out of pocket for the Danco cab and the tractor was $475. I sold it on eBay for $1,500 and was then paid over $250 in storage because it remained with me for a year and a half. And it was just picked up last spring. Now I'm going to scroll back up. That's Andrew. That's what happened to Lady Lime. Let me scroll back up here. Okay. Thomas Walk. You have an Alshelmer 710 stuck in gear. You see my video, but the problem is that I don't know what gear it's stuck in. Can you shed some light? Okay. It doesn't matter if you know what gear. It doesn't matter if you know what gear it's stuck in or not. If the shifter is forward and it's stuck, then it's your forward fork that needs to be moved back into the center. If it's the rearward 2 gears, then that's the fork that needs to be moved. Pretty cut and dry, and I do have a video on that. Nothing mows as nice as a Simplicity deck. You're right, mister. Absolutely. 98 Vanguard got it running, but it sounds like it has a rod knock. Gray oil. Oh, there's no gray oil. It's black, but it runs good. Okay. If that knock gets worse under load, brother, shut it down, pull the oil, flip it over, pull the oil pan off, see what's loose. $700, the best place to find parts like that are Facebook groups that specialize in the Simplicities and Allis-Chalmers. Either will work. You just have to sand it down and paint it if you're wanting it to be yellow. My face froze over there. Is it cold there, Glenn? Chrome does not get me home. It used to, but it doesn't. But as far as finding a good hood, simpletractors.com has a classified section where you can put a 1 ad in. You do have to register. Michael's Tractors also, michaelstractors.com. And then the numerous Simplicity sites. Best thing, just dip your feet into all of them and start asking around for a good hood. And try to find one local to you because shipping one will cost in excess of $70. Yes, Willie, exactly right. Can't kill me. What Willie said, piston slap could sound like a rod knock. So do a compression test. See if you're exceedingly low on compression on one cylinder. If you are, chances are you've wore your rings out or you've broken the skirt on your piston, and your piston's in there rocking back and forth if it is not a rod knock. 60, Glenn. 60 degrees and snowy. Well, snow's too cold in winter, right? Do they make new hoods? No. Nobody is remanufacturing the hood 700. You're welcome, Thomas. Have I covered everybody's question? Did I miss anything while I was babbling with the streams? Nope, I don't think I did. Hey guys, I've got 22 of you in here, and only 5 of you have hit the thumbs up button. Would you guys mind taking a quick second and hitting that thumbs up button for me? I come out and do this every Sunday for you guys. Show some appreciation. Oh, yeah, valve. As far as valve guides, fixing the head, do it at your own risk. Follow the series that I did on my own engine, and I'm in to my second season, and so far mine's holding together, but that's not saying it's not a guarantee. Wow, you're way up there, 700. Yeah, it's Mike, the tractor guy. The way that those coils are made, and you can still get for the Model 19s and the early 23s, you can get, and even the Model 14s, you can get just the coil pack to go on the laminations and get life back. Where you run into a problem is if your cam lobe has worn too much, that it's not allowing the points, the lobe for your points, it's not allowing the points to open enough. And that's when you need to dig in a little deeper and put a new cam in. Bob! Okay. Tell you guys a little bit about me, and you should know. I'm answering Bob's question here. He's asking, how do I do most of my work, hourly or flat rate? And do I care to elaborate? Can't kill me? Yes, I do. Services, I do a flat rate. Other jobs, like the Simplicity Conquest that I did last year that was all tore up, I do an hourly. And oftentimes I fudge the stuffing out of the hours and don't charge actual hours. I am disabled. My time is limited in what I can do. My abilities are limited in what I can do. I've got the mind. The body doesn't always cooperate with it. So people's patience plays a big part. But I honestly only charge enough to cover my expenses and maybe enough for a couple of burgers. Because I'm disabled and on Social Security disability, it's not a job. It's a hobby for me, and it's to keep the juices flowing. So the people that I do help out, they love me because they're not getting charged the $70 to $90 an hour that most shops are charging. I hope that answers your question for you, Bob. So I charge very, very little. So Mister, that's funny. Yeah, no, my body's had it. All these operations, it's, yeah. Body can only take so much, and I really wore it out last year. Clean 30 years of barn grounds off points of great spark now. Mike the Tractor Guy, fantastic. Oh, it's okay, Bob. It is self-inflicted. I just played really, really hard when I was younger, and it caught up with me. Had 32 operations. I've broke my back twice. I've been paralyzed for a period of time. Uh, I just, my body's tired, but my mind isn't. So I appreciate the apology, Bob, but it really isn't necessary. I don't. I've never felt sorry for myself. Howdy, Roger. I've never felt sorry for myself except initially, for a short period of time. I had, pity party for myself, and then I thought, you know what? It's not the end of the world. I was working in a rather well-known company, making six figures, and that came to an abrupt halt, thanks to a water skiing accident of all silly things. That was 7 operations and 18 months to recuperate. And that was not when I broke my back either time. I broke my back 2 separate times. Live, learn, try to learn, fail at learning, try it again, learn again. Took a while to get it through my skull that I needed to quit doing stuff. Bryce asked if I seen the new zero turns with the T wheels. I'm not sure what that is. If you're talking about the ones with the tiny little joystick that you operate, then yes, my neighbor just bought one. That is those funky tires with like the integrated rims. I would have to see a picture, Bryce. So if you can get me a picture and send it to my email, I'll check it out. You're exactly right, Bob. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I've got a very strong will, and it will not be broken. There may come a day when I'm in a chair. That won't matter. I will not let the chair get in my way. Being a Chippendales dancer is tough on your body. It's funny you say that, Roger, because I actually did work for a traveling male review club. I was a server, a drink server, for, let's see, in 99, 98, 99. Yeah, one of my less proud moments in life. That's funny. Do I know what attachments work with the Simplicity 16 GTH? Not nearly as many as the old tractors do. Can't kill me. Your best bet's to go to simpletractors.com, look your tractor up there, and it will give you a listing of known implements. Simpletractors.com. I wouldn't mind, Mister, I wouldn't mind a country clipper or a skag or a grasshopper. Any of those, I'd be great. Joe, I'm so glad you're here, brother. 700, I still have olive. Okay, when I say olive, I have my 64 old B10. I have Ugly Alice, which is another 64 B10. I have the Montgomery Ward, which is a 64 model. I have the Old Landlord, which is a 64 model. I have the 3212V, which is a 1970 model. Then I have the 1962 Simplicity Garden Mark, or the Montgomery Ward Garden Mark Squire. And then I have Mini Lord, the little Broadmoor that looks like a miniature Landlord. I can't answer that question. Can't kill me. I'm not familiar with the machines. Oh, Andrew, I am. She's fantastic. She is just fantastic. The and she's so patient with me. She knows my limitations, and she's a godsend. Just just like she's always right there with me. She's wonderful. I have over 800 videos, Bryce. I don't know. Sorry. Right mower is making a dually wheel mowers. Yeah, I've I've seen where they make them so that they can take like a 45-degree embankment and mow with them. No thanks. Do I ever change the rear end oil in East Simplicity 725s? Do I have a video on it? I don't have a video on it, but it's very easy to do. Mike, there's a drain plug at the bottom, which is also your fill, and you've got your access hole at the top. Take those two plugs out, let everything drain out. And if it's not been done by you, just do it and put in 80W or 70W90 or 80W90 full synthetic. You'll thank me later. Your shifts are just going to be buttery smooth. You'll love them. Oh, I'm glad you found them, Bryce. Glenn, everybody will know. Everybody will know. Most throttle surge, Mister, um, can be attributed to a number of things. The first thing you want to do is to check and make sure that you don't have an air breach that's causing a lean running condition. So check your plugs. Look at your plugs. They'll tell the story. The color of your plugs. But with the engine running and while it's doing its surging, spray WD-40. It's about the only thing it's good for. Spray it around the carburetor and all the gaskets, just anywhere and everywhere, intake manifold, spray it everywhere and listen for a change in the engine. If you hear a change in the engine, you've got a gasket somewhere or a throttle shaft that is allowing air to bypass the system, which is causing your governor to surge. That's just a real quick. Then other things that it can be as a governor out of adjustment. Oftentimes the springs will get tired and you'll have to. Yes, what Willie said as well. Spring on loose throttle linkage could help too. Yeah. Giving the throttle plate itself a little bit of resistance um, will help settle things down, but you still want to check for a leak. That just means you want a spring that's going to help hold the throttle closed. A weak spring doesn't have to be very strong at all. Very good point, Willie. Thank you. But Mister, you see what Willie said there. But just get you a spring that you can mount so that at idle, there's, the engine's off. That spring is just hanging there. It's not doing anything. It's when the engine starts and it gets up to speed, that's going to pull that spring a little bit. And that'll just help stabilize things. But again, make sure you don't have any intake leaks. That will wreak havoc on your engine. It'll melt the tops of your pistons. The engine will overheat. You're welcome. Off grid, absolutely. And up. If you find one for $500, get it. Are you trying to bribe me, Mama Sue? I have some obligations in my appointment book, but I will see what I can do about getting the Ugelhorn mounted. Yeah, you are. You're trying to bribe me with brownies. I got the battery in it and drove it around the block. I will. It won't take much to get yours hooked up. Larry's is going to be the difficult one because I use a double pole, double throw switch. There you go, Glenn. Yes, I will. I will work for brownies. Yep. All rough. Could one or two make? Could you make one or two out of the six, though, Mister? That's funny. That would get him out of the way, wouldn't it, Bryce? Yeah. You guys say hi to Mama Sue. You've heard me mention her a lot of times. She's in the house. Sue Lawson Mutter. That's a good price too, off grid. Ron, thanks for lurking. Happy to have you here, whether you're talking or not. I think everybody would work for brownies. I remember back when I was a Cub Scout, there's only one way that you could become a Boy Scout. You had to eat a brownie. Ha ha. Oh, none of them had the. Sorry, I know. Is YouTube paying me now? YouTube does not pay me. The ads on my videos are through Google AdSense. Google places the ads on my YouTube videos, and I get revenue from that. But, you know, a video has to be watched many times before I'll make $2-3 on the video. So it's not a way to stay out of the poorhouse. I mean, at least for me. You like that joke, Mike? 700, I've been monetized with YouTube for going on 6 years. This is my 6th year. I was offered it many years prior. I just never opted for it. And every single penny that I make off of YouTube goes directly back into my channel. It's reinvested in new camera equipment, microphones, tools for the shop, so on and so forth. So it's not money that I count on for my monthly expenditures. That's a good question. And milk. Yes, Glenn. And milk. Definitely. Yes. You guys got any more questions? I'm not doing too bad. It's 38 minutes in. I haven't fallen asleep yet. Yeah, Mister, those things are, I mean, they're great. They're great. And I've had the pleasure of working on a few, but I've never owned one. Hey, Bob, you still running about? Double wide. Do I work on Craftsman stuff quite a bit? You never have questions, let me know. You're a tech for them. Well, as you know, then, Mike the Tractor Guy, it's either AYP or MTD. and I work on all brands. Uh, the higher ends are the AYP, American Yard products. And of course, MTD is the lower end, as you well know, Mike. Um, I don't like the way some of the things are made, but you get what you pay for. Actually, you don't get what you pay for. You pay for what you get, which should only be about half of what you pay. But you're paying for the craftsman name. Thank you, Off Grid. It's not endless. I'm sure I would hit a brick wall at some point. So theoretically, garden tractor wedding procession in the future. That's funny. Yeah. Aaron Simplicity Alice, Ingersoll Power King. I like the old Ingersolls. Yeah. Yep. Do I know the difference using the model number? I do not. But I have a vast database that allows me to um, source and locate just about any part without having to go through Sears. I've had too much trouble trying to get parts through Sears. Andrew, I can tell you, and it's such a simple fix, you would not believe how easy it is. Split ring lock washer. On the inside, take the nut off that holds the arm and the little link that connects to the valve. Take that little lock washer, put the lock washer on, put the nut back on. That's it. That's what fixes a wobbly lift. That's it. A 6 cent lock washer fixes that problem. Doesn't just temporarily fix it, it flat out fixes it. Open header twins. That's true. I love the sound of that thing. When am I going to break out the old engines and do a bench test? I just got 4 engines in over the winter that all need to be bench run. Yeah, it is, Andrew. It's super, super easy, real quick and super easy. Throw a lock washer of the correct size on, tighten it down. Golden. Tightens everything up. To answer your question, 700, when this appointment book allows me to. Now, this is new since last week. I have an appointment book now because my brain doesn't always remember everything that I've got scheduled. Rob, you just found my channel. Thank you for my knowledge. Question is, do you rebuild a 22 horsepower Kohler or replace it with a Harbor Freight? That depends. If you want to pay the price for the Kohler parts, which are usually about double what a Briggs parts would be for the same part, you would be better off going with the Harbor Freight. I hate to say it, but that Harbor Freight Predator 22 horsepower is essentially a Honda, and you get it in, you will never have another problem with it. Spooks! You got it, Spooks. Same here. I mean, I'm driving, my daily drivers are both 1990 and a 1992 Vanguard used. Yeah, there you go, Willie. There's an option for you, Rob, is to find yourself a Briggs Vanguard. And even an 18 horsepower or a 16 horsepower Vanguard will be plenty of power to replace that 22 horsepower Kohler. I'm not saying Kohler's bad. I'm just saying Kohler parts are quite spendy when it comes to yeah, I've spent twice as much on doing a command motor than I ever would on a Vanguard. Very good, Rob. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, unless you want to invest, yeah, you can pull the Kohler, set the Kohler on the shelf, get your parts list amassed, and slowly put together your parts list for it and put it together at your leisure while you have the Predator engine or a Briggs Vanguard in place so that the machine is still operable. Rody! What's going on, Rody? Everybody, you guys know Road King. Not doing your own live show tonight, Rody? You got it, Roger. 16 horse Vanguard and Ingersoll. Yeah, yep, that's right, mister. Nah, once a year. I appreciate that, off grid. I appreciate that. Mike the Tractor Guy, did I catch your tip above? Let me scroll up here. I might have missed it. 917 is always AYP. 247 is always oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, great tip. Fantastic tip. In fact, that's worth me writing down. Ah, see, every time I'm learning something, I take a quick little note on a post-it note. I can't get a hold of a post-it note. There we go. I make a quick little note so that I can remember it and put it on my poster board. 917 is AYP. 247 MTD. Thank you, Mike, very much. Thank you. Definitely good information to have. They can't kill me. You're going to be a lot better off and a lot cheaper off to source another starter generator. There are so many different hat plates that can be used on those. Some have bearings, some have bushings, some have wicks, some have oilers, some have. There's just so many different types. Your best bet is to go find an entire starter generator on the cheap. Willie Cook, got some plugs in your Vanguard that eliminate the throttle lag. Going to be good for pulls. What kind of magic is this, Willie? Yeah, it's truly your best bet. That or just try to match up your hat cap by searching through eBay. Yeah, I hear you. That is a sweet, sweet motor. I think they pulled what 35 horsepower out of that 22 horse after a lot of the mods they did, and that was to the wheels. Okay, Willie, maybe you can do a video on it. Douglas, not pawn shop buys, but pawn shop barters. I did a repair and got two Harbor Freight Earthquake impacts. One's a 3/8 compact, and the other one is a Earthquake XT extra torque, half inch. That's all I've gotten from pawn shops here recently. Good information to know, 700. I believe that Can't Kill Me is working on a pretty tight budget, and that'd be a pretty steep purchase. Yeah, Bryce, I thought that that's what they said they were shooting for a 50 horsepower, but that was at the crank. And I don't know that they dynoed it at the crank. I think they just stuck it in and they dynoed the entire rail, didn't they? I don't think they ever had the engine itself dynoed. Okay, we're getting close to 50 minutes here. We'll give it just a few more minutes, and then I'm going to head on out of here. Dr. Spooks, Kohler Courage Garbage. I hear you there, Spooks. The triads were one of the biggest fails that Kohler has ever put out. Where the block and the heads are one integral part. You can't take the heads off the block, and you have to load everything in through the oil pan, including the sleeves for the cylinders, and those would always come loose and drop down into the oil pan. Yeah, I won't work on triads. Nope, don't want them. Nope, 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 nope. That's a overhead cam engine. Overhead cam engine, not overhead valve. Don't let it be mistaken. Some of the new MTD tractors are using LCT engines with a throttle body fuel injection system. Just a heads up, I haven't seen one in the field as of yet. I've worked on a couple of Briggs fuel injected. They are such sweet machines, but I don't have the software to code them and to program them. So I have to, unfortunately, tell people they need to send it on down the road. After I can do an OBD2 reading on them and see what the codes are throwing. But as far as resetting and reprogramming, other than disconnecting the battery and letting them sit, I've gotten lucky once by resetting. You prefer propane over EFI? Give me propane in a Duramax, and I'll be happy, Willie. That's awesome, Bryce. Roadrunner, thank you very, very much. And you caught me just in time. It's been a very long day for me, and I am fixing to say see ya in just maybe 2 minutes. Same combo. Yeah, they've made a number of changes to it. It's definitely neat. Well, Bill, I'll let her know that you said bye. She is still at the grocery so far as I know right now. She should be heading home shortly. But you could be Weong. Yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and peace out. I am wore out. I'm going to kick back and relax. Mister, thank you very, very much. Say hi to the missus for me. Mo, take care, buddy. It's the first time you said something tonight. I just found out that, Mo, that this thing lights up when you plug something in to charge it. That is so cool. And that it takes pictures. Really, really neat. Everybody, y'all, great questions again this weekend. You guys can look for me next Sunday. Always look for an announcement that I will be here. If you don't get an announcement, chances are I won't be. So, hi, Big Daddy. I'm sorry that you caught me. I'm 53 minutes into it, and I'm getting ready to head out. Sir Rooney, glad you're enjoying it. Glad you enjoy it. I love doing it. Dave, Off Grid, everybody, thank you all very, very much for all of your questions tonight, and also for the information that I got from Mike, the tractor guy, on the numbers for the AYP and the MTD difference on Craftsman's. All right. You guys have a good one. Be safe. And I promise you, I will see you on the next one. This is Zippo later. I'm out here.